Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. I study for you. Today we will go through short notes on impairment, disability and handicap. The terms impairment, disability and handicap are often used interchangeably, but they have different meanings. Understanding these differences is crucial for grasping the effects of neurological injuries on development. The World Health Organization provided definitions in International Classification of Impairments, Disability and Handicaps. Concept of impairment. Impairment is defined as a loss or abnormality of psychological, physiological or anatomical structure or function. It can be present from birth or acquired later in life. Impairment disturbs the normal functioning of sensory organs or other body parts. Examples of impairment: hearing impairment. A child with a hole in the eardrum can't hear properly because sound transmission is disturbed. Visual impairment. A child with visual problem has difficulty reading due to improper image formation. Orthopedic impairment. Missing fingers or polio infected arm can lead to loss of grip or use of the arm. Functional impairment. A person with myopia or diabetes may have functional impairments but might not be considered disabled if corrected by appliances or drugs. Concept of disability. Disability results from an impairment that leads to functional limitation in performing daily activities. Disability reflects the consequences of an impairment in terms of functional performance and activity by the individual. Examples of disability. First one, mobility disability. David's inability to walk without assistance is disability that can be improved with physical therapy and equipment like a walker. Hearing disability. A child with a hole in the eardrum may not hear normally. Visual disability. A visually impaired child can't see properly due to faulty image formation. Orthopedic disability. An orthopedically handicapped individual can't use the arm and fingers for gripping. Learning disability. A child with learning disability struggles with calculating or understanding number relationships. Types of disability. There are three types of disabilities: temporary total disability, temporary partial disability, permanent disability. In temporary total disability, complete inability to work for a period required medical treatment. Temporary partial disability. Partial recovery allows some form of gainful occupation. Permanent disability. Permanent loss of some body part function even after treatment. Concept of handicap. Handicap refers to disadvantage or restriction imposed by a disability that limits or prevents the fulfillment of a normal life. Handicap is the result of an individual's impairment interacting with the environment and societal barriers. Examples of handicap. A child with an artificial limb may be handicapped in a football match but not in a classroom setting. Handicap affects efficiency in day-to-day activities due to the child's disability. Causes of impairment and disability. Chronic diseases. Example: diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer. Injuries like road traffic accidents, falls, conflicts. Birth defects, congenital anomalies. Malnutrition, nutritional deficiency leading to impairment. Infectious disease, HIV, AIDS, other communicable diseases. Now we will go through the difference between the impairment, disability and handicap. When come to the definition, impairment is a loss or abnormality of psychological, physiological or anatomical structure or function. Disability is a restriction or lack of ability to perform an activity in the manner or within the range considered normal for a human being. Disability is a restriction or lack of ability to perform an activity in the manner or with the range considered normal for a human being. Handicap is a disadvantage for a given individual that limits or prevents the fulfillment of a role that is normal. Nature of impairment is biological or medical condition. Nature of disability is functional limitation resulting from an impairment. Nature of handicap is social and environmental barriers that exacerbate disability. Scope of impairment specific to body part or system. Scope of disability is it affects the ability to perform task or activity. Scope of handicap it influences participation in the social roles and activities. Examples for impairment: hearing loss, visual impairment, missing limbs. Examples for disability: inability to walk, difficulty in communicating. Examples for handicap: difficulty in accessing public buildings, social stigma. Causes for impairment can be congenital or acquired due to injury, illness, or genetic condition. Causes for disability results from the interaction between impairment and the external factors. Causes for handicap arises from societal and environmental contexts. Focus of impairment: medical and biological aspects of the condition. Focus on disability: functional performance and activity limitation. Focus on handicap: interaction between the individual and societal environment. Measurement when comes to impairment assessed by medical professionals through clinical tests. Measurement when comes to disability evaluated in terms of impact on daily life. Measurement when comes to handicap evaluated by considering societal attitudes, accessibility barriers. Interventions of impairment: medical treatment, rehabilitation, and therapies. Interventions of disability: adaptations, accommodations, and support services. Interventions of handicap: policy changes, societal attitude adjustment, improving accessibility. Perception when comes to impairment: often viewed as a medical condition needing treatment. Perception in sense of disability seen as a social issue required changes to remove barriers. Perception in sense of handicap viewed as a mismatch between the individual's abilities and societal expectations. Impairment level, structural level. When comes to disability, the level is up to functional level. When come to handicap, it is social level. Friends, these differences are very important. You can take notes or screenshot. In the next video, we will discuss one more important topic. Thank you.